Today I thought we'd do something different by starting the video with this title on my head and focusing on the positives of WWE. It's easy to hate. It's easy to complain. So I thought today, what if we actually talked about what we liked about the product that we say that we liked? Now, I'm not going to say don't criticize ever, because you know what? If we don't criticize, then sometimes we are left with just garbage week in and week out.
What happens in this match with the dog food?
I don't know. He was the big dog at the time. WWE, man. Big dog needs dog food.
However, we should give credit where credit is due. So let's be, as Simon Miller would say, positive Pete, and just focus on what we like about WWE right now. And that's today's video. What are the best of? Who has the best aura? Who had the best wrestling match? Who has the best storyline that is working that shouldn't work? Does that make sense? Who is the best 6-year-old? Well, that's easy. That's River. River, you are the best 6-year-old watcher right now on this channel. So this is officially my shout out to River. River, shout out. All right, so what about the best aura? Let's get right into this video. No doubt the best aura is Roman freaking Reigns. I'm gonna include part-timers on this list. Roman Reigns, no questions whatsoever. The only person who might have better aura is maybe The Rock, and even then, at this point, I don't think so. I think that, yes, The Rock has catchier catchphrases, but Roman Reigns, the dude literally can just walk as slow as possible, and the crowd will be going crazy the entire time. Roman Reigns can just give a slight glance at a person, and that will advance a storyline like by 3 beats. Roman Reigns just stands in the ring, lifts his hand up slowly, and everyone does it. The dude commands an arena, commands a stadium with the simplest gestures.
I don't give a damn what the Tribal Chief say.
And then when he does actually speak, it's hilarious, it's awesome, it's amazing.
Hey, buddy, this is TV today, Junior. Let's go.
But no, for real, his aura unmatched in WWE because of what he can do when, honestly, when he does almost nothing. A simple look can just stop everything when it comes to Roman Reigns. The next best of will be the best masked wrestler. I almost went with Grande Americano. He's been doing a great job. Very impressed with how good of a wrestler he is at his age. Same with Rey Mysterio. Those two have been wrestling since like what, the 90s? Grande maybe even the 80s. Great stuff there, but I believe the best would be Penta. Penta is your best masked wrestler right now. The dude, like, he's really good in the ring. He might not be a high flyer like Rey Mysterio, but I don't know. His moveset is very cool, very like, he's almost like a heavy luchador. I mean, he's not fat or anything, but he's like a bulky luchador. He connects with the crowd, even though you can definitely tell that English is his second language, and he goes in and out of English to Spanish, and it doesn't matter. The way he speaks connects with the crowd on an emotional level. I absolutely love Penta, and then his little Penta walk.
No need to ask, he's a smooth operator.
His whole entire entrance, everything about him just screams superstar. Penta is your best masked wrestler right now. Who has the best championship run in WWE? Now, I am going to cheat a little. I'm going to go to NXT for this. This is not really an NXT channel, but I gotta say, it seems like that Triple H, he books his WWE champions like they were booked in the 80s. If you look at Hulk Hogan, when he was champion, he didn't show up a lot. And I'm not saying this as a bad thing. I'm not saying this as a good thing. I'm saying it as a thing. It seems like once you become champion, well, you just don't really have to clock in as much. Look at Io Sky. She has not defended her title one time since WrestleMania. That's insane to me. Other than Jey Uso, almost every champion has not shown up week in and week out. And so that means to me that I don't really want to put somebody on the best champion list if they're not really showing up. Well, what about Jey Uso? Well, he just lost his title after 51 days, so I'm going to give it to
Today is a great day for dreams to die.
Oba Femi, the ruler of the world. If you look at Oba Femi, like, this dude is crazy. He wrestles everybody. He wrestles people in their first match ever, Jasper Troy. He wrestles people from other promotions, Moose, TNA. He wrestles NXT vets like Trick Williams. He wrestles all the time defending the title, so I gotta give it to Oba Femi for being the current best champion in WWE. And if you want to be the best champion of Wrestlechop, all you gotta do to win this belt right here, where I will mail it to you, free shipping, free everything, anywhere in the world, India, Bangladesh, the Caribbean, Westland, Michigan, I will mail it to you free of charge. All you got to do is comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell, ding, 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 notification. And if you would be so kind, a thumbs up. Yes, please, up that thumb down there, wherever it is. You see that thumb down there? It's like going like this. I need you to up it, please. I'd appreciate it. And you can win this belt. Not a toy, it's a replica. All right, the next best, let's do the best hater. The best hater in WWE right now has to be Finn Balor. Finn Balor is so freaking hilarious. If you really watch Finn Balor in the backstage segments of the Judgment Day stuff, he is so bitter and jealous of Dominic Mysterio winning championships. He is so just creating chaos. When Liv Morgan came back and she lost her match because Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez couldn't get on the same page. Watch, I'll put a clip up, but Finn Balor is just like all smiles, loving the dissension.
Raquel's been keeping me up to date with everything that's been going on in the clubhouse while I've been gone. And some things I found to be very interesting.
This is a group that's supposed to be his family, and basically, since Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley left, he has just been creating the most chaos subtly and just enjoying the devastation of the fallout and the bickering of Judgment Day. He is such a hater. Plus, whenever he gets a chance, he will badmouth Damian Priest even. Like, the dude is just like, he just thrives on being a bitter, jealous person, and I'm all for it. Speaking of Dominic, he was the best feel-good moment of 2025. When he won the Intercontinental Championship, it was really cool. It was a really cool moment because it was like, I don't know, it's like, I remember when Dom came into WWE, it was such a Nepo hire. He totally got hired because he was Rey Mysterio's kid. There was nothing special about him. In fact, it was like almost like, what? He looked so like clean cut. He almost looked like a 16-year-old kid. Are we gonna have to deal with this? Are they gonna push him to the moon because he's Rey's kid? And they kind of did. But at some point, Rhea Ripley stole him away from Rey, and just he became his own character to the point that even today, I don't really associate him with Rey anymore. Rey is a giant in the industry, and for you to get out of that shadow and be your own man, that's amazing to me. And slowly but surely, as we just booed him, Dominic he just put in the work. He put in the character work, the little nuances of his character. He just understood the assignment, never put himself first, always put others over. And then at WrestleMania, he wins the Intercontinental title. And when he's walking up the aisle, they have to tell him, go back. He's probably not used to winning at these grand moments. And there he is. He runs back into the ring and gets to celebrate with his title.
Man will be grinning from ear to ear and shining like he's Rob Liberace.
It was like, I don't know, it's like we watched him grow up. It was like, you know, it's like when you see the neighborhood kid that you didn't think would make it, you know, graduate. He walks and grabs his diploma. I legit felt like proud that, like, yeah, man, you did it. No one thought you would. No one thought you would make anything of yourself, and here you are, Intercontinental Champion at WrestleMania. Way to go, man. Felt so good. Best on the microphone, Paul Heyman. Do we gotta, like, I mean, you might be like, oh, I thought you'd do a wrestler. Paul Heyman has been in more main events in WrestleMania than anybody in the history of WrestleMania. He counts. Do I even gotta explain? The dude can sell anything. The dude is like, he is such a master of words. Like, he's a one of a kind, will never be repeated. Old school fans will be like, Bobby the Brain is the best, but no, I challenge that. I don't think there's anyone that is better than Paul Heyman.
I'm the GOAT.
The GOAT.
I'm the greatest of all time.
Nor do I think there will ever be another Paul Heyman. The dude can speak. Like, he is just like, I don't know whether or not he's bringing up Terminator references or the way he would pray to Roman Reigns or be the best friend or start a whole new faction with Seth Rollins. He's not afraid to leave behind a cash cow like the Bloodline in order to go to the next big thing, the future of the business, which is Seth Rollins. I just like, Paul Heyman's a genius and a master on the microphone. Best tag team is The New Day. I gotta say, it has to be The New Day. I wish it was someone on SmackDown because that roster has really put in the work. The SmackDown tag team division is awesome and amazing, but I feel as a team, it's The New Day. Now, it might be unfair because The New Day have been together for over 10 years. However, so what? In the immortal words of Kofi, so what? They are doing some of their best work right now. Yes, they should have been pushed harder after they kicked Big E out.
Oh, you broke our hearts out there! How can you say that stuff to E?
But whatever the case may be, right now, it's working. It's working. When they get on commentary, they are hilarious. When they win the belts and they snatch it and run back up the aisle, it's hilarious. They go in the crowds. They go in after the shows and make fun of people that are in the parking lots because there's social media posts of them doing it.
Did anybody else come out here to see you? Did anybody else come out here to see you? The answer is no.
There we go. You know what? That's a really nice U.S. title that you bought.
Yeah, that's okay.
Congratulations.
Where the hell's yours? Where's your title?
My Hall of Fame career is all around here.
They're on Twitter. They're everywhere, and they know their character. They have the titles. New Day. No one can compete with them.
Guy with the suit and tie in the truck, go yourself. That's from Killer Cross. No.
Karrion Kross is the best thing on the internet right now. He topples Drew McIntyre somehow, in that Karrion Kross is getting himself over through the power of social media, to the point that we have a wrestler who now has his merchandise in the WWE arena stands, and he doesn't ever even wrestle. Typically, those spots where they sell merchandise, you want it for wrestlers who are wrestling, because those are the ones that people are going to buy. Oh, I just witnessed John Cena, therefore I want a John Cena shirt. Oh, I just saw Grande Americano, therefore I'm going to buy a Grande Americano shirt. And yet, Karrion Kross is not on the card, but he's so over on the internet that they're still selling his shirt in the arenas, and they're selling out. He's all over social media. He went viral. He's getting on huge interview shows like Ariel Helwani, and it's just like Karrion Kross is doing amazing work. Whether it's kayfabe or not, he's just all over the place. Drew McIntyre, he's the most savage on the internet, but Karrion Kross, he's the one that is making waves and advancing his career through social media. The best burn, the best insult of 2025 is when John Cena said to Randy Orton,
because he'll be just like his 2006 drug test. A failure.
That was just an insane, savage burn. Bringing that up, I thought that was off limits, and John just dropped it like, deal with it. The best savage moment, the most savage moment, I would have to say, is when Gunther completely wrecked Jimmy Uso.
Gunther's baby
bathing in Jimmy's blood.
He was covered in it. He looked like a polar bear that just came out of a penguin buffet, just covered in Jimmy's blood. So savage that was. The best heel turn, you're probably thinking I'm going to say John Cena, but I'm not. I wish it was. The John Cena heel turn should be the best of all time. Should be up there with Hollywood Hogan, but honestly, when it comes to my enjoyment of heel turns this year, Naomi.
I'm no longer the sweet Naomi, the good girl.
Naomi is so good. She is unhinged. She is crazy. Here's another person who's been around for multiple years, over 10, having a resurgence. The New Day, even Jey Uso, and Naomi too. I am digging this Naomi. The real shame of all this is that Naomi has had this in her all along, and we're just now seeing it. I hope that we give the belt to Naomi, strap a rocket to her, and just send her to the moon. And yeah, she is so good, so funny, so unhinged. She is a maniac. And, proceed with caution when it comes to Naomi. The best booker of 2025 has got to be Triple H, right? Nope. Shawn Michaels. So I am not going to really bring up NXT much. Shawn Michaels is doing a great job. The booker is predominantly the person who's in charge of writing all the storylines on the brand. We got Triple H, he's a booker, and he oversees Raw and SmackDown, but Shawn Michaels oversees NXT, and that show is crazy and amazing. And if you want me to start covering more NXT on this channel, then I need at least 20 people in the comments saying, yes, Chop, cover NXT. But yeah, Shawn Michaels, the work that he is doing in NXT is by far the best. If you hate watch Raw and you hate watch SmackDown, I suggest you go check out NXT, and I think you will find some enjoyment there. Then we have the best veteran, The Miz. I'm going to put The Miz as the best veteran. This is a dude who just, his main goal seems to be just to get people over. People finally have started to appreciate The Miz, and The Miz is like, he's helping Carmelo Hayes get over.
I got the hottest young prospect in the game. A true one of one, Carmelo Hayes.
When you need someone to come in and do a media spot, that can be The Miz. When you need someone to come in and just savagely destroy someone on the mic, that can be The Miz. You have a returning talent like Aleister Black needs to beat somebody, that can be The Miz. You want The Miz to get in the main event, tell him to cut a really good promo. The Miz is one good promo away from the main event, I believe. It's like the dude will just do whatever you tell him to do. He'll win, he'll lose, he'll get the crowd to cheer, he'll get the crowd to hate, but overall, the best veteran right now, I gotta put it to The Miz. Best match of the year, gotta be the TLC match of Street Profits versus DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns. They were doing some crazy stuff. I remember one point there was like a chair wrapped around, I think, Marty Jannetty 2 of Motor City Machine Guns, and they just hit the chair and it just spun around him like a cartoon. Montez Ford literally grabs somebody's leg while they kind of hand it to him. There's a prosthetic leg. A fan has a prosthetic leg, gives it to him, and then he uses it as a weapon.
That's a prosthetic leg.
What? And then throws it back to the guy. That's insane. And what's even more insane is I thought it was all a plant, because Montez Ford came out dressed like HBK, Shawn Michaels, and there was a Shawn Michaels Diesel match a long time ago. What was it? Good Friends, Bitter Enemies in Your House show, where Diesel actually beat Shawn Michaels with a prosthetic leg. So I thought it was all a work, and it wasn't. It was like just coincidence that Montez Ford was wearing Shawn Michaels gear and then got to use a prosthetic leg to beat someone up with it. And then we have Angelo Dawkins, who, I will die on this hill, is not the weak link of Street Profits. I'll just say that they are both very strong links. They are very strong links. One just outshines the other, but that doesn't mean that Angelo Dawkins is going to be the Marty Jannetty of that group. Motor City Machine Guns have 2 Marty Jannetties. The Street Profits have 0. They will both be fine when they go off to their prospective singles careers. However, what we're talking about here is Angelo Dawkins. He speared, I forget who he speared, but he speared somebody, and basically they recreated the Edge Jeff Hardy scene where on a ladder, spear him off, hanging off the belts. Crazy stuff. Great match. Should have been on WrestleMania, but it was a week after. That, though, then begs the question, what was the best match on WrestleMania? I will say, I have a soft spot for Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix. I loved that match, but probably going to give it to Io, Bianca, Rhea. Now, if we were going storyline-wise, it would go to Punk, Roman, Seth. That was a really good storytelling in that main event of WrestleMania. But if we're going just pure match, got to give it to Io, Bianca, Rhea. That was an all-timer. And I love triple threats where it's not just two people in the ring and one gets knocked out for like 5 or 6 minutes. No, this was like one move led into another. It really felt like 3 participants in the match almost 90% of the time. I absolutely adored that match. And that's probably why the TLC match wasn't on the card, because there was a triple threat night 1, night 2. But regardless, let's just focus on the positive here. Io, Bianca, Rhea, they should be very proud of themselves. I hated that Bianca lost because she lost her streak, but that said, great match. Best Rookie of the Year, I'm going to have to probably just give it to, as of right now, probably going to give it to Roxanne Perez. Second to last in the Royal Rumble. Great showing at Elimination Chamber. Even now, she's fighting for the most prized possession in the entire women's division, and that is Dominic Mysterio.
I got you guys presents.
For me?
She brought some tendies, and she is trying to get Dominic away from Liv, it would appear. So, like, you know what? Last time someone got Dom on their side, well, Liv Morgan completely glowed up. Is that the right term? Glowed up? That you glow up? Well, either way, Liv, she's glowing now as probably the overall best in the women's division. And so if she gets Dom, sky's the limit. Best feud? You might be able to argue Cody versus Kevin Owens at the beginning of the year, but honestly, that kind of carried over from the previous year, so I don't feel there haven't been any really solid feuds. You might be able to argue Roman, Seth, Punk, but for me personally, the triple threat took it away. I would have put Seth Roman or Punk Seth or Roman Punk, but the fact that it was a triple threat, I don't know, it took something away from me. I'm actually gonna do something and put Damian Priest, and it's either Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, which have had no right to be as good as it was, or Naomi and Jade Cargill. Now, Naomi Jade did start kind of last year, but the brunt of it, from the heel turn to just their fight at WrestleMania to still ongoing, that was all this year. I like the Naomi feud because Naomi has risen to such a great character, but it is helping Damian Priest also. So, I don't know. You tell me in the comments below which is better, Naomi and Jade or Drew and Priest. Now, if you want to say Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, that's totally fair.
Hey, dude! Oh my God, Jacob Fatu!
I think, though, that because it just hit that boiling point where now they're actually at odds with each other instead of at the brink of a feud, I think it's still also a little too early to tell, because it's not over. For all we know, it drags on forever. We hate it. I mean, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan started off great, but then it went on about 6 months too long. So if you want to vote for Jacob and Solo down below too, you can do that as well.
Oh my God!
Best return has to be RTruth. This one still just blows my mind. RTruth, he's released, and we're like, everybody's mad and everybody's outcrying. We're even saying we want Truth at the arenas, but I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't think anything would change. I didn't think it would make a difference. People were already justifying it, being like, oh, well, he's 53 years old. Oh, well, this, they're a business, yada, yada, yada. And yet, they brought him back. So I don't want to focus on the negative part of them releasing RTruth. I want to focus on the part that, well, here was a guy so beloved backstage and to the audience that people rallied and WWE listened. Hey, you know what? I could take a dump on WWE all day long for making a mistake, or I can focus on the fact that they listened to us and they brought RTruth back 7 days. In 7 days, basically, he was brought back. He was fired, released, and brought back, and now he has some like creative control, it seems, and a whole new character. So that's cool. That's cool to me. That is a positive and best return of the year thus far. The best character who can eat a loss, take a pin, and still recover and not lose aura, that's a mouthful, would be Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre still just, like, he takes a loss and it almost just fuels his character. Chelsea Green is pretty good at eating a loss too, but I think though that Chelsea, the fact that she never made it to the main event, her eating a loss just allows her a lot of TV time. While Drew McIntyre, he's still in the main event, even if he does lose. Now, I don't know why they just make him lose and not let him win the big one. Drew McIntyre would be a great guy to hold the title. In fact, I'm hoping that the guy who beats John Cena at the end is Drew McIntyre. We give him a proper face run or even a heel run like he is right now. But no, it's probably be Cody Rhodes. I would love, though. Drew can eat a loss and still come back almost as strong as when he lost. Character-wise, though, I will give it to Chelsea. Chelsea Green, she won the U.S. title and then became like the president. It was definitely a gimmick, a character. I've said this in the past that a lot of times that a wrestler is just an amped up version of themselves. Otis is an amped up version of who he really is as a person off camera. Same with Chad Gable. Same with probably even Jey Uso. You know, Jey Uso, I can see Jey Uso walking into a bar and saying, hey, eat, and trying to get free drinks off of that. But Chelsea Green, I don't really think that she thinks she's the president. And it's just, she knows her character. She knows how to steal moments and time and the scene. Chelsea Green, best character WWE, most entertaining. Naomi, though, is a close one. I could see Naomi and I could see Solo Sikoa, but yeah, I'm giving it to Chelsea Green. I will give Solo this, though. He's the best turnaround.
I like his stuff.
Like, for real, I thought it was over for Solo Sikoa when he lost that Ula Fala and he lost Jacob Fatu. When Jacob Fatu just kind of walked away or started, like, interrupting Solo Sikoa, I thought he was done. He was looking like such a jobber. And then he brings in JC Mateo, the best, stupidest name of the year. But he brings in JC Mateo, and suddenly all he needed was backup. He's like, maybe Solo's like that kid who's like, he's very insecure until he has muscle, until he has his friends around him, and then he talks all big and bad. Solo Sikoa is the embodiment of the internet. You know, he can say all he wants when he doesn't think anybody can hurt him. I'm just loving Solo right now. He's back to, I've got tickets, bought a shirt. Solo just so funny. Good stuff, Solo. Way to have the best turnaround. Happy for you. Best storyline that shouldn't work is Chad Gable having a problem against luchadors. For all intents and purposes, this storyline should not work. I remember thinking this was the stupidest angle. Chad Gable out of nowhere was like, I've heard rumors that I can't fight luchadors. I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm like, oh God, this is bad. And then he goes to Dominic Mysterio of all people, gets a phone number, then goes, or some piece of paper. Then he has a cinematic segment going to Mexico, meeting with a guy in a dark alley, gets...
You now will power beyond your understanding.
Well, we don't see what it is. It's probably like a Happy Meal or something. But then Chad Gable comes back to the United States, and so does Grande Americano. Somehow, some way, Chad Gable met Grande Americano in Mexico, and now they're allies, they're friends. It's so stupid. It's so hilarious. And Chad now loses to the Luchador still, but Grande Americano then comes in and he beats the Luchadors. I love the storyline. Like, I literally thought it was the stupidest thing in the world, and yet it's working. And I hope I hope they keep it going. I really do. I love Chad Gable wrestling sometimes, Grande Americano wrestling sometimes. It's so funny. It's so hilarious. Please, please let this keep going. And, you know, speaking of Chad, I gotta say Chad Gable is probably the best wrestler on the roster. Like who could compete with Chad Gable? Pure wrestling. I'm talking pure wrestling. Who's like in his league? I don't think anyone is. I mean, Io Sky, maybe? Now, obviously, those two aren't going to fight, but like maybe you could say Io Sky is up there as the best wrestler, but Bianca Belair, even Rhea Ripley, no wonder they had the best the match at WrestleMania. But no, I think it's Chad Gable. I think Chad Gable is pound for pound the best wrestler in WWE right now. And the best, like, shocking moment of 2025, gotta be John Cena's heel turn. Gotta be John Cena's heel turn. No one saw that coming. Not on anyone's bingo card. Nobody saw it coming. John Cena turns heel, and it's like, it's been talked to death, so I'm just going to end the video. But if you want to see my full in-depth breakdown of John Cena's heel turn, the best shocking moment of WWE right now, it's going to be in that video right there. One of these corners, I'm going to have the video. It was best of John Cena's heel turn, so please go watch that right now. It helps when you jump from one video to another video. The whole algorithm is like, oh, people like this channel, they're staying on this channel. So please, from this video, go to another one of my videos. And I appreciate every single one of you. You are the best of WWE, and you are the best of Wrestlechop. I appreciate you boys and girls. Have a good day.